The teaser trailer for Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer has been shown in theatres in front of Jordan Peele's Nope, and it's a fantastic first look at the ideas and imagery that the auteur blockbuster filmmaker is going to be bringing. The trailer hasn't currently been released online, and if we take Tenet as an example, Nolan may just keep this as a theatrical only teaser trailer. But having seen the teaser myself, I'm going to be giving you my reaction and breakdown of it, presenting my early thoughts on what we saw and what I think about Christopher Nolan's new World War II biopic. But before I get into my breakdown, if you want to keep up to date on any of my content surrounding Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, then don't forget to support this upload by giving it a like rating, subscribing to the channel, and turning on your notifications. Also, feel free to check me out on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, and Instagram at Cortex Videos, which is all linked in the description below. But without further ado, let's dive into my thoughts on the Oppenheimer teaser trailer. So it turns out that my trailer prediction video was bang on the money, as yesterday the teaser trailer for Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer was debuted exclusively in movie theatres. The brief teaser was attached to showings of Jordan Peele's Nope, which especially makes sense as both films are IMAX features supported by Universal Pictures, and it's exactly a year before Oppenheimer releases. Nolan has done a similar thing with all of his movies since The Dark Knight in IMAX, debuting a 1-minute teaser in theatres around a year before they come out. But a thing to note is that the first Tenet teaser was never actually released online officially, so it's currently unclear whether Universal will release this in HD. If it's not published within the next week, then I would expect it to remain in theatres with Nope. And I guess for a short teaser like this, that's quite understandable. Still, there will likely be another trailer and a traditional prologue released at the end of the year, and I'll discuss a bit more about that towards the end of this video. Something to also mention before I get into my breakdown and review of this teaser is that Universal released a poster for the film yesterday, showcasing an instantly iconic fiery image of the man himself surrounded by the atomic fire. The tagline reads, "The world forever changes," and the poster also displays the current release date, which is July the 21st, 2023. It's another brilliant Nolan poster that once again uses the main character front and center. Oppenheimer of course stars longtime Nolan collaborator Cillian Murphy as theoretical physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer, who was the director of the Manhattan Project and the father of the atomic bomb. But let's get straight into the teaser trailer and discuss what we saw from the first footage. So after the Universal and Syncopy logos appear on screen, the teaser trailer began with dialogue from Emily Blunt's Catherine Oppenheimer, and she says to her husband, "The world is changing, reforming, this is your moment." A shot of Oppenheimer's hat then appears on screen, with a countdown also revealing itself. It reads 11 months, 24 days, 15 hours, 29 minutes, and we follow this with someone saying, "How can this man be so smart, be so blind?" So Nolan's new film is once again using the central themes of time to convey the story that unfolds, and this presumably is a countdown to the day that the world changes forever and the United States launch the first ever nuclear weapon at 5:29 AM on July 16th, 1945. It was codenamed Trinity, and this test was a implosion design nuclear device, eventually nicknamed the Gadget. The bomb that was dropped on Nagasaki had the same design, and using this countdown in the trailer creates a quite frightening and haunting sensibility that Nolan has perfected over the years when it comes to the usage of time. Of course, Nolan loves a ticking clock structure, and he's again leading into one as the film builds counts towards the day that the world forever changes. Not to mention that this countdown also has a double meaning, because in just under 12 months the film will be releasing. But as the trailer progresses, there's also footage of fire and smoke, with what sounds like Gary Oldman's character Truman saying, "The force from which the sun draws its power has been loosed." This is intercut between black and white shots of Cillian Murphy as Oppenheimer, putting his hat on to more dialogue such as, "You gave them the power to destroy themselves," and "You made him the most important man who ever lived." After more smoke and fire frames build in intensity, we end on a shot of Oppenheimer walking through the press towards the camera with flashing from their cameras. So it suggests that we're going to be getting the full story of Oppenheimer's life, whether it be the developing of the atom bomb, the race against time to create it, the terrifying countdown to that first test, or the complications and grief that he felt with everything that takes place afterwards. At the end of the teaser, you can hear Robert Downey Jr. as Louis Strauss referencing J. Robert Oppenheimer as the man who moved the Earth, and we know that he was the driving force in the controversial hearings in which Oppenheimer's security clearance was revoked. So there's going to be everything you'd expect from a Nolan picture, whether it be the impressive photography or intense storytelling and themes on display. So what did I think of the first teaser trailer for Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer? Well, with this just being the announcement teaser, it's a fantastic way to really echo the themes and ideas that the film is going to be presenting. The black and white IMAX photography looks stunning when contrasted against the atomic fire shots that engulf the screen, and it also suggests to me that we might see an experimental use of that by Nolan. It got me thinking, what if Oppenheimer for most of its runtime is in black and white, switching between 35mm and IMAX photography, and then the moment that first atomic bomb test goes off, the film turns to colour as a way of signalling not just the start of the atomic age, but also the message of realisation surrounding the terror that Oppenheimer has just created. I think that would be a cool artistic choice by Nolan, and seeing this teaser trailer present shots of Oppenheimer in black and white, and then shots of smoke and fire in colour, gets me thinking about that being a potential choice he could use. It might just be a way of presenting the ideas for this particular teaser, but it would be cool if we saw something like that in the actual film. Also, I have to mention the unnerving score by Ludwig Göransson throughout this footage, because right from the appearance of the timer on screen, he employs an effective haunting score. It accelerates in quite a terrifying way to get the audience's adrenaline pumping, just like if an atom bomb was about to go off. It's the perfect big screen teaser to get you thinking about what cinematic choices Nolan will employ with this film, whether it be in its score, its cinematography, or in its storytelling. I really loved it, and I can't wait to see what kind of performances each of the cast bring too. One thing's for sure, Cillian Murphy is going to do his all to bring his iconic take to the central role, and he looks exactly like Oppenheimer in all of the black and white footage we see of him. Overall, I'm really excited for it, and right now, Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer is my joint most anticipated movie of 2023 with Dune Part 2. The last thing I wanted to talk about in this video, now that some of us have seen the teaser trailer for Oppenheimer, is the potential release date for the full-length trailer and the IMAX prologue that Christopher Nolan traditionally does for all of his big screen installments. Of course, I was right about the release date for this teaser, and if you watched my video on that, you'll know that I predicted that the IMAX prologue could come with Avatar: The Way of Water in theatres on December the 16th, and then a release of the full trailer online at the same sort of time. I'm sticking with that prediction, and Nolan typically starts the big marketing push in December when looking back at some of his other July releases. If I had to guess, I think this teaser may just be in theatres because it's a smaller announcement, but then this December, I think we'll see the IMAX prologue before Avatar 2, and then the full-length trailer released online a few days later. Oppenheimer. It's the perfect target because for one, it's an IMAX feature, and two, Avatar is potentially the biggest film of the year, so the filmmaker can get a lot more eyes on the project by impressing them with that prologue. The Tenet prologue was shown before screenings of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker back in December 19th, 2019, so December 16th for Avatar 2 would be a likely bet when it comes to the Oppenheimer IMAX prologue. But for now, we've got a great teaser to keep us anticipating more, and I'm really looking forward to the marketing push and eventual release of Christopher Nolan's highly anticipated film. But that was my video discussing my thoughts and breaking down the teaser trailer for Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. Again, it's a great first look at the film that really sets the tone of what we'll expect to see, and I think the terrifying timer of the atom bomb test and the guilt that Oppenheimer faces afterwards are going to be the big talking points of the overall narrative. As Matthew Modine, who is one of the actors of Oppenheimer, said about the film yesterday, the atomic bomb is an extreme example of human ignorance, and Christopher Nolan's film might illuminate the destructive nature of our kind. It's a film that appears to be questioning that fully with the story of J. Robert Oppenheimer, and I think after watching this footage, we're going to see the genius behind him, yet also the issues that has stemmed from his creation. It's the perfect morally grey story that Christopher Nolan has done so well time and time again. So as a first teaser trailer, count me in as incredibly excited for Nolan's next theatrical film. But if you've already seen the trailer in front of Nope, let me know down below in the comment section what you thought of the first footage from Oppenheimer, alongside whether it gets you excited for Christopher Nolan's new film. For much more videos and news on Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, then subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like rating and follow me on social media via the links in the description. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been Cortex, and as always, make some noise.